Hello everyone, welcome back. This is a quick how-to video on servicing a Shimano XTR BB93 bottom bracket, and I'm doing that not because mine is worn out, but rather I realized there is an extra washer on the non-drive side, and I purchased this bike used this year, so I don't know the reason why an extra washer was put in, but per Shimano, if the bottom bracket is 73 you just need one on the drive side. So I'm going to remove the spare washer, and I just wanted to take the opportunity to do a video on servicing the bottom bracket. So start by removing the chain, and if your clutch has any on-off position lever, just make sure it's in the off position and the chain is in the lowest sprocket, and that way you should be able to undo the chain. Now there are two pinch bolts on the non-drive side, and when you are undoing them with a 5 hex, again the torque rating on these is 12 Newton meters, so it's not a lot of force. They should come off fairly easy. Just make sure you're undoing them equal turns on each side, just so we don't create any pinch points. Now you do need a special tool to remove the compression ring, and again the compression ring is always finger tightening because all it's doing is removing any slack when we are tightening the bolts, so they should come straight off. Once you remove that compression cap, you can just pull off the non-drive side crank arm and take a rubber mallet, and with a few taps the driver side crank arm should come free. The driver side crank arm, the whole thing comes as a unit: the spindle, the chain ring, and the crank arm. And to undo the bottom bracket, we need a special tool. Again, I'll leave descriptions for everything down below, the name of the tools that are needed to remove them. One way to remember the orientation of rotation, at least for a Shimano BB93, if you're holding your wrench on the 12 o'clock position, it's always going to be towards your front wheel for both the sides. Hold your wrench at 12 o'clock position, and the direction to undo would be towards your front wheel. Now the torque on these is about 30 Newton meters, so there's going to be a little bit of force needed when you're undoing them. Here I removed the extra washer, and this is the non-drive side. And at this moment, it's a good opportunity to clean the inside of your frame. That way the threads are all clear. Here I'm just confirming that mine is indeed a 73 bottom bracket, and that I do not need that extra washer. Now on the on the drive side part, there's a plastic sleeve that goes through, and at the end of it there is a small o-ring. I just wanted to show you that, just so we remember putting in some grease there when we are putting things back together. On the non-drive side, here I'm removing the dust cap. You just need a small flathead screwdriver to kind of pry it open. Just keep trying it gently and it should pop off. At this moment now we just need to clean it up and pack in some new grease. When applying grease, also make sure to apply some on the inside, just before the bearings meet the plastic sleeve. There is like a little slot in there, and just pack some grease in there. The same is going to be done on the driver side part of the bottom bracket. Just remove the plastic sleeve, please remove the dust cap, clean it all up, and pack with some new grease. And same thing, put some grease on the inside and just kind of rotate them, just so everything's in place. Put the seal back in, or the dust cap back in, and you're good to go. Start by threading the driver side. I guess it doesn't matter, but I usually do the driver side of it. And again, the torque here is 30 Newton meters to 40 Newton meters, so a good grunt, and it should be tight enough. No need to really over tighten these. Here I'm doing the non-drive side. And now is a good time to clean up the whole spindle, the crank arms and everything, just so they're clear of any debris, and we can put some grease in and just slide them, or put them back together. I usually put grease along the starting point, because as we slide the whole thing in, the grease would automatically move along, so there is no point, or there is no need to put all the way back. You just need to put it at the front end, because when you slide the whole arm in, the grease automatically moves back. Give it a good tap and install your non-drive side crank arm. And at least for the XTR cranks, there is no way we can miss the orientation because of the I guess the splines, that the way they are positioned. You can't misalign the crank arms. They always would be 180. Now put the compression cap back in. Use the special tool to tighten it. Again, it's just finger tightening, no need to over tighten it. And then retighten the compression bolts or the pinch bolts, and as you tighten them, do equal turns along each side. That way both the bolts are applying equal pressure. And the torque rating on this is 12 Newton meters, so again, not a lot of force. Now once it is done, make sure everything is thoroughly clean, because any grease on the outside will start accumulating dirt. Now put your chain back in and you're all good to go. As always, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video.